Hey guys, welcome. This is the Overnight Coder. I'm here with Sam Rizzi. We're going to be talking a little bit about the SEO and monetization of your business directories, as well as questions and answers, and maybe even rip open a couple sites as we have time. Sam, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. So I'm Sam from Credio Studio. I'm product manager for ListingPro. And I'm here with Tim, and I'm excited to discuss the this very important topic, SEO and optimization. I know it's on a lot of people's mind, and let's see if we can address some of your concerns today, and let's get started.
Perfect. Everybody, welcome to the group. It's just like every week, we run these weekly webinars just to help the users. This is a non-paid event. We do it weekly. All the same, I think we're going to be skipping next week and the week prior due to holidays. Is that about right?
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I guess we want to give people a break, I guess, and especially you. I want to give you a break. I mean, you should take a break,
I don't mind. Today was the day. Today's my birthday, but
Oh boy, you should have told.
No. I'm still here doing meetings and everything else. I'll be nonstop working.
You turned
Wife's about to
19?
go. Yeah, 19 again. Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Tim, man. Yeah.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you. So should be a fun day. Again, some people are like, oh no, I'll call you tomorrow. I'm like, no, dude, I'm still working. When you get to a certain age, you're just like, yeah, I still got work to do, right? I don't expect anything except for this hot lunch, which should be here at the end of our meeting. So with that being said, let's jump right in. Again, just like always, Abdullah, we know you're here. Dimitri, if you want to take yourself off mute, just tell us where you're at with ListingPro or introduce yourself. You don't have to. And while you're doing that, we've got Shelby. Shelby, thanks for joining us another week. We're glad you're here. All right.
Hey Tim, sorry, it took me a second to get off of mute. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just glad people showed up. It's like, if they don't show up, what am I going to do for 2 hours on my birthday? I'll probably just go back to work. But yeah, so let's do this. Again, Dimitri, thanks for coming. You can always type in the chat box too if you're just not comfortable, maybe don't have a mic, whatever the case may be. Just keep in mind, Dimitri, you are on mute. You have to unmute yourself first. So today's topic, SEO and monetization, as well as it seems like today we'll probably have a lot of time just for questions and answers, as well as we like to do this where we take a look at somebody's site and give them feedback. I know I didn't properly introduce myself, but I built over 70 directories. They know me as the Overnight Coder, as most of you guys already do. And I have a really good insight on building a business directory, what it's missing, what it's lacking. Also with web development, a lot of times I see some things that users don't see, especially if you're not a designer or developer, or you're a new upcoming designer and developer. I've been doing this for, I want to say 20 years. I mean, don't hold me to it, in and out. And then business directories for the past 3 years nonstop. So whether it's padding, spacing, coloring, things like that, just got a really good visual eye for those type of developments. So again, if you have any questions, want to post some of your links in the chat, we can rip them open today. I know we gave Shelby some great criticism. She actually went back and fixed most of those. Site's looking really good. And of course, there's always room for more improvement. So again, Shelby, if you want to share that site later on in our talk, I'd be happy to look at some specific pages, pricing plans, things that you've done, things that you're working on. With SEO and optimization, I'll start the topic off and then we'll jump into some questions and answers. SEO and optimization are huge in this industry. If you have $1 million for ad spend, don't worry about SEO, right? I mean, who really cares? If you got, not that I want to spend $1 million in ad spend and just promote, but if you have that capability, SEO will bring free traffic. I'm not going to spend money, and this is just me personally. I got 4 kids, keep in mind. I'm not going to spend money on ads. I'm not going to buy Facebook ads. I've wasted, a matter of fact, I'll give you a quick story. I used to spend $1, not that I would just buy $1 and make $2 back with Facebook. So it was always profitable. I'd spend $50 and make $100 back. I'd spend $1,000 and make $2,000 back. To get to that point of buying those ads, I had to waste a lot of money testing what worked and what didn't work. And then one year, I'm really good with Facebook ads. One year, I spent $500 and made absolutely no money in return. So ads they can be good. Yes, you do have to learn. Yes, you will spend money on making. It wasn't viable as like a constant, it's always changing. The market right now, it's Christmas time. The market is going to change what people want to see visually compared to your holiday. I'm sorry, not Christmas. Let's just call it holidays for everybody else. But it's going to change. People are looking for different things. Ad prices are going to go up. Ad prices are going to go down. It wasn't a consistent variable for me. So that was out of the question. Nowadays, SEO is my big go-to. Of course, it's not instant. Social media, we talked about last week, the week prior. Social media, that's instant, right? I can post on social media. Somebody can see that post today and go to my site and interact with it, whether it's buying something. SEO is, in my terms, and I know some people will speak a little bit differently, SEO is your long-term plan for, and it could be short-term, long-term plan for, or short-term plan for generating consistent revenue over the time to come. So let's talk a little bit about it, right? I'm going to give you some of my experience with SEO and how I perform with SEO. So first off, I'm not going to share my screen for this. I'm just going to walk you through it. I have to use, Terry, welcome to the group. She probably can't hear me. She's just fine. I have to use SEO tools. The reason I use SEO tools are because I don't know what keywords, actually I am going to share my screen. I don't know what keywords I want to use, right? I have an idea. I use this, you guys have probably already heard this a million other times. Oh my God, what is the website? SpyFu is one. Oh, that's the one I use. I'm so sorry, my brain is thinking birthday. SpyFu is one of the tools that I use to generate keywords, right? I'm not going to log in. I don't want you guys to see all my account information. But here, you can even use it for free. They just had a special for like $4 or $9 a month. There's a bunch of these tools. I think Sam was talking about SEMrush. You know, SEMrush is one of the best tools. I happen to give this owner kiteboarding lessons. It is a big website, but because I did, I've got some free stuff and I can utilize not paying for a program like this. But I promise, even at $33 a month, I think the value is there. The reason, and you don't have to keep it for all year. The reason it's there, I'm just going to type in, what's a good website that, let's type in kiteboarding for you. Get it. So even, I haven't signed in or anything. So for free, I can show you that on SpyFu and a bunch, there's Ahrefs, SEMrush, there's so many SEO keyword tools that you can utilize, but this will get you started, right? So originally, see exactly what I expected to see, 100% organic traffic. Well, how many keywords do I have? Yes, they're going down. How many estimated keywords? I know this is a little off until I log in, but where's my ranking? Sometimes, especially in my directory, these competitors are not really right. But in a lot of niches, the competitors are right, and especially if I had been around for a little bit longer and it knew exactly what I was about. The cool thing that I like about programs like these are you can literally go in, oh, these are not right. You can literally go in and type in a competitor and see what they're ranking for. And with those competitors, I can find easy to rank tools or easy to rank keywords that I can beat them out of. Now, that's not my game. I don't try to beat everybody, competitor-wise, but I do try to find easy things that I can rank on. So let me tell you, the first thing I did was I didn't look at my competitor. I went in and, I went into some of the keyword or the tools for creating or typing in a keyword, like the word kiteboarding. I can type in and it will pop out some keywords, right? What are some related keywords around kiteboarding? Kite surfing, kite this, kite that, kiteboard lessons. And I wrote down all those keywords. So I have a notepad and I just started writing down the big keywords, kiteboarding lessons, that's a big one. Now, let me take it back one notch. I am a web designer, and you've heard this example before. I use this all the time. I am a web designer. I will not be able, and I'm good at SEO, but even if I was the best, I don't think it's possible right now for me to rank for web design. Just those two words. If you type in Google the words web design, I'm not going to pop up. I could create 50 web pages tomorrow, and do all the SEO practice on all 50, I still don't think I'm going to pop up #1 web design. It's not going to happen. And I'm not even including the ads that are shown. I'm more talking because it's just a general keyword, business owner. I'm not going to pop up for that. I'm not going to pop up for the word directory. Those are just keywords I'm not going to pop up for. And if I do, I put in a lot of money, a lot of hours, and a lot of work. Again, web design, I just don't think I can get there. But what about Orlando web design, which is a state, or a city here in Florida? If I put in a little bit of work, I can show up for that one. What about Cocoa Beach web design, which is actually, I'm really close to Orlando, but I'm actually in Cocoa Beach. I could definitely capitalize on that by the end of the week, and those are longer term keywords that I can rank for. Now, I wouldn't have known that, right? So if I do, let's just say I decide to put focus in Cocoa Beach web design, well, some things that this SEO tools will tell you is how many SEO clicks is that actually getting? And if it's only getting 10 clicks a month, is it really worth my time? But I don't physically, I can't just guess that. I think Cocoa Beach web design would be great. But I can't just guess that and be like, oh yeah, that's going to be great. Focus 2 weeks on getting that ranking. And what, now I'm getting 10 more clicks? Well, 10 more clicks to you might be great. But for me, I can't focus on that when there are better keywords. So let me tell you what this keyword tool did tell me. So I have short-term keywords like kiteboarding lessons. And I told you I got a notepad with that big list, but I also have long-tail keywords in a list. And those are things like Cape Hatteras kiteboarding. To stop right there, if you're not familiar with Cape Hatteras, it's a place in North Carolina that it said it had a lot of clicks for. It's a popular location for the kiteboarding scene, and it has a lot of clicks. And it also told me how easy it was going to be to get there. So, I was really happy with that. Like, okay, I have a list now that I can utilize. In the scene. So the first one I wanted was kiteboarding directory, right? Well, that was an easy one because there wasn't a lot in my niche. So kiteboarding directory on Google, all of you can type that. I know I visited the site, so it's going to show me first. But on anybody, incognito, I pull up #1 on the kiteboarding directory. That was just one keyword. I have I want to say about 200 good keywords that I rank for, and I didn't have to do anything other than having those lists and utilizing those keywords around my site. Now let's talk about it, right? I'm not going to open the site, but on my directory, Cape Hatteras kiteboarding has nothing to do with my kiteboarding directory, right? I'm not going to put that on my homepage. So where do I put that? Blog posts. Blog posts are really easy. It didn't affect my SEO or didn't affect my general structure. I can create a blog post about Cape Hatteras kiteboarding, best for lessons, sessions, and this. And that was my blog title. Inside that, and let's talk a little bit about this, I had to use some of those SEO terms, some of those things that you do for SEO. If you're not familiar with what you need for SEO, there's a couple ways about this. You could type in SEO strategies or SEO methods or SEO checklist. And then just because times are changing, I like to type in 2021. I'm going to skip over the first 4 ads, and just go into just the first match. Of course, I'm not a big reader, so this will tell me, crawl the site, look for errors, fix internal links, make sure your URLs have a clean structure. Something that this list doesn't contain, and I would probably look more into this, is what you should have on the page, right? H1 titles, H2 titles. Is the keyword in your title? Is it the first sentence in your paragraph or in your first paragraph? And that's the kind of checklist. This is outside the content. This is like, before you even create content, but you also have something inside the content. Now, if you're not already familiar with things like Yoast SEO, Rank Math, I'm sure there are some other plugins that come involved. I'll talk a little bit about Yoast. Yoast is a keyword tool that when you open up a page, I don't know any sites offhand that I have it on. A lot of them, I just don't want to open anything that's non-related. So with that being said, Yoast will actually tell you, it's a free plugin. I use the free version. On Yoast, it'll actually tell me exactly what I'm missing when I'm creating a page or a blog post. It'll say, hey, this isn't in your title, go ahead and fix that. Or this isn't in the first paragraph, go ahead and fix that. Now, some of the results, let me just see what I have, because I want to show you guys something. That's so funny if I don't have anything on this one. I think I do. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to pull this off screen. Reshare the page in 2 seconds. So rank math is another one, and I'll talk about the differences there for some. Oh, I did pull in Yoast. Give me just a second. We're going to open that back up. Matter of fact, I'm going to open up a page, reshare the screen. I don't want you guys to have all my tricks, right? So let's just open up the home page, for example. I don't have a lot of SEO on pages, as you can see, but I'm going to edit this page with Elementor. And then you'll be able to see, again, it's just a structured Elementor page, and hopefully, all right, give me just a second. So sorry, what did they put it here? Yoast SEO. All right, perfect. So what's involved with Yoast? And you can use this with Classic Editor. You can use this. I'm not sure about WP Bakery. Someone will have to chime in. But this is the way it works, right? I put in a key phrase up top. And again, you probably, I'm not going to regenerate this, but a lot of times you'll see that it'll be like, hey, what's your readability? Is it good, right? Can people physically read this? Sometimes when we type, it's not in a readable format. And then it'll give me my analysis. So is the key phrase in my introduction? Now, I will tell you that this works a lot better on blog posts, only because my homepage, I didn't have a first paragraph, right? I do have it in my title, but I didn't want to duplicate that. So I don't follow all the rules based on, again, this is my personal choice to have the word kiteboarding directory. In a blog post, I will definitely do that. And I'll see if I can pull one of those open as well. But it'll tell you exactly what you don't have, key phrase density. At first, I didn't really know what this meant. It seems kind of obvious, but it tells you it was only found 2 times. This is less than recommended for as much text as I have on the page. I should have that key phrase that I typed up here 3 times, at least for this text length. And that'll be based on your off your text length. What could I improve on? Out of 44 images, only 1 has an alt attribute. Now, this was a little bit difficult because Elementor sometimes, I can't take 100% of this with, take it with a grain of salt, because again, better in my blog pages, my slider here does not, even though these alt tags do have kiteboarding directory, it doesn't recognize them. But I know that I know that they're in there. So again, it's a little bit different with Elementor. Blog pages works perfect. What about all the things I did do? Outbound links, images, internal links. And if you don't know what one of these are, what's an outbound link? So again, you can just follow the formatting that it puts on the page, and it'll tell you what you can work on. You don't have to be, an SEO expert. What is outbound links? I click on it, brings me to a wonderful topic that says, hey, you just want an outbound link on your page. So I'm going to show you one more example of a blog post for Cape Hatteras, just so you guys can get an idea. It works a lot better with blog posts, I promise. So Cape Hatteras, obviously Cape Hatteras kiteboarding, right? In this blog post, and I just moved, so I don't know if I've got all the keywords and the stuff that I need, but here's my outbound link. And I put this at the bottom of all my blog posts. I just cheat, right? I'm like, hey, make sure to check out my Facebook page. And that is considered an outbound link. So there's so many ways you can get around and utilize to improve your SEO using those keywords that you already did recommendations for. So what do? I use the short-term keyword or the long-term keywords in things like blog posts and pages and things where I can get away with it, like Cape Hatteras kiteboarding fits in a blog post. But my short-term or my longer-term keywords, I apologize, I put in everything else. So inside the listings that I'm adding the word kiteboarding lessons, right? If I add the listing and I'm doing the description, kiteboarding lessons is in there if they give lessons. And I'm slowly starting to build on those keywords as well. So hopefully that helps out, with a little bit of the SEO formatting. And even if you're not a professional, grab one of these plugins. Again, I use Yoast for free. On this site, I actually have Yoast Premium on my ListingPro directory because I thought that the value was there. I'm not sure, just personal insight, I'm not sure I see the pro value. It gives me a little bit more. It actually highlighted stuff in my content. Like if it said, hey, this is unreadable, it would highlight this. But I mean, I don't think I necessarily needed to pay the money to get there. Again, for kids, I'm not really looking for that. Now I do want to share some user experience, user feedback. I can't tell you which is better. Again, I've been in this game for a while and I use Yoast till the end of time. And again, this is just my personal opinion. recently, a lot of people have been talking about rank math, rank math this, rank math that. And I seen a post in my group, in our Facebook group, which I'll share with you guys here in a sec. And they were talking really highly of rank math, and they gave the comparison. And unfortunately, the comparison was on rank math. So, it's like, I mean, I really don't believe anything when it comes to, on rank math's page, they tell you the pros and cons of other, I'm not going to look for it. But they'll tell you the pros. Oh, here. Let's tell you the pros and cons of, other businesses. This isn't the full report, but it's just like this. It'll say rank math, Yoast, and of course they show up on top, but they did break it down. And I was, oh, here it is right at the top. I was looking at it and they're right. Like the lines of code for rank math is way less. The options that you get. This was about correct when I was verifying rank math in Yoast. And of course I didn't look at the memory usage or the page speed because this is not viable. 0.4 is, 3.4 is still low. But as I decided to try it, right? I jump in. I was really happy, and I'm old school. So, once you find something like Yoast, I stuck with it forever, and I never wanted to get into something new. Now, this isn't a hype. I don't have any affiliate codes. I'm not going to give you anything. I'm not going to provide an affiliate link. I am really happy with the features I found in rank math. Of course, I don't know how to use 100% of it, but just out of the box, it seemed like it came with a lot more. And I'm still talking about the free version. So if you haven't already, give rank math a shot. Again, I've been with Yoast for as long as they've been out, but really happy to see, it's a newer platform. Rank math is definitely newer, but I think this is, it comes with so much that I was shocked just on first look. And again, maybe too much confuses you. You don't want to jump into something where it's got all these options, but as you're growing with SEO, I completely converted. I know I showed you my site. I have rank math on all the new sites. Right. And I'm just comfortable with where it's going and really enjoy it. And again, maybe you guys have tried some. I've never even seen these other ones that they're SEO Press. I know about it. I just never tried it. But I think it's time to migrate into the newer things as things come. So definitely, any questions so far on SEO? And I know we haven't talked about like what you can do with your site, how you can incorporate it. I know that ListingPro also did a plugin, ListingPro Schema. I downloaded it once. I don't. I like it if you don't have SEO experience and you're not going to do something custom, you don't want to learn anything else. I am so addicted to Yoast and being able to do my own things, and especially now rank math, that I really didn't give it a fair shot. It's just a smaller plugin with nothing wrong with that. But these companies have spent years working on a plugin that gets a little confusing, but does a little bit more. ListingPro Schema, no offense, and especially to Sam, and he'll probably tell you the same. It's just not. It doesn't have all the features that you may be looking for. It's an easy solution to upload and call Schema, right? So again, any questions or comments so far on what we've talked about, and any aspects of just so far what was brought up. Welcome to the new users, Terry. Glad to have you, Michael. Keep a Ray Bryant, Art. Keep in mind, you guys are all on mute. You can always unmute yourself and just give us some personal experiences, or what you like, what you don't like, any things that you're looking for SEO. And we'll start jumping into some questions, comments. I can give you a little bit more experience, but again, I go free. Especially when I'm starting a website, I go free. And then yes, if my site's making money, will I buy a rank math premium? Maybe. I mean, if my site's doing that well and I just find the features are much better, which again, I'd have to look at comparing the pricing. Yeah, I don't mind jumping into a premium plugin. When I'm first starting, no, I'm not going to spend any more money than I need to grow this business.
Tim, I just want to mention that Ray Bryant is one of our oldest customer. He's a firefighter from Florida, from your state, and I think you spoke to him last week or sometime earlier this week, I guess. Awesome guy. So he wasn't feeling well, but he did make it. So thanks, Ray. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Hey guys, I'm happy to be here.
Representing Florida in the house. We're out in Florida.
I'm down south in Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Nice, man.
We spoke, Tim. You helped me out with some stuff with ListingPro.
And I'm sure I have, but unfortunately, I
Yeah.
have so many people. Sometimes they slip me.
Yeah,
Right.
no worries.
I'll remember no though. I apologize.
Sorry, I didn't leave a lasting impression on you. Next time.
No, man. So it's not that. Trust me. I got people to this day are like, hey, you don't remember me on my site? I'm like, no. Can you link me? Unfortunately, I guess it's fortunate. You know, I have a business where I talk to a lot of people. You know,
Very
but
good.
I do appreciate. I'll remember you at some point. I promise.
It's
No problem.
actually, if you want to know more about Ray, guys, go to listingpro.com. There's a full interview that Ray gave it about his directory website, South Florida, SF. I'm forgetting the domain name.
South Florida's
Sorry.
best.
Yeah, you can drop the links. Everybody, please drop your URLs. We might pull it up to see what's going on your website. So thanks, Ray, again. Ray also runs a web agency and stuff. He does some stuff too
Nice.
on the side. But thanks, Ray, for being here.
No problem. Great. I'm enjoying it so far. Appreciate it.
Sweet. This is just our shout out for the groups. If you guys are ready in a group, I'll start with mine first. That's just the way, I like to roll. Listing Pro theme, and I won't talk too much because I know you guys have heard this. Listing Pro theme is definitely a great group where we post all the announcements, events. A lot of people don't even use Facebook. It's great. Even if you create a dummy account, come on in. There's a lot of topics. A lot of things are brought up. When we ask for ideas, this is where they're coming from. People wanted this, people wanted that. As well as questions, problems, fixes, ideas, anything in the working. Again, that's Listing Pro theme. There's a bigger group, which is Listing Pro users group with over 3,600 members, does the same exact thing. So again, get your fix. These groups are really good. I know last year there was some security issues that were updated by the team. But because nobody knows that, right? I logged into a site, I want to say 2 days ago, and they had Listing Pro 2.4 point something. And I was just like, dude, yeah. So first off, you want to update your theme. And they're like, well, I didn't even know there was an update. If you're in these groups, or even if you're not in the group, right, you can go over to the Listing Pro website and find that spot where you can get updated. I know sometimes Theme Forest doesn't always, matter of fact, my Theme Forest updates go to spam, so I don't ever get them. But this is a good way to keep on top of things, what's coming out. Right, they just came out with, and this isn't a shameless plug because that's Sam's job. They just came out with Event Pro. Right, if you didn't know about it, you haven't checked it out. There's a bunch of stuff in these groups that you can find out. How awesome these new things are, and they've got a bunch of stuff coming up. So again, find out from the groups. It's great. With that being said, I'll also show you, if you guys aren't familiar with the Overnight Coder channel on YouTube. This is my last advertisement for the day. But the Overnight Coder channel will have a lot of great information whoa, what is going on? As a lot of information as it comes out. If you miss one of these topics, you can always find the topic here, the last two. As a matter of fact, here's a bunch more. Designing, matter of fact, we talked a little bit about how you can style with CSS. You don't have to know CSS, right? This video right here goes into basic styling with CSS for Listing Pro. So again, a lot of things I'm seeing in the group. I don't mind answering the questions in the group, but I get a lot of CSS questions. How can I hide this? How can I recolor this? I like to just point them to the video, but of course we provide those CSS codes. Somebody really interested in learning their site like Shelby, I can tell you, Shelby will watch a video like this and utilize it for the things that she needs instead of asking the same questions that have already been asked a million times. And that's what that's where you want to be when you're designing a site. Yes, you can ask for free help, but why not learn it, right? Again, I'm not asking you to go to school for CSS. The last 33 minutes of this video, so probably about, I want to say 20 minutes, talks about how you can style the things that you would be looking to style in Listing Pro. So very resourceful video. And again, that's the Overnight Coder channel. You can find it in any search. With that being said, what bring it to light, guys? What are some questions and answers you guys have for SEO? And we're here for you. So, again, if you have some questions or you want us to take a look or, anything we can do to help you out.
Yeah, I think we can pull up maybe while we have any other questions, we can maybe pull up some sites here. Shelby's website.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I haven't gotten started too much on the SEO. I just started working on it, but y'all can do that. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I don't think you have much SEO on the homepage. But again, it starts off with, there's a little bit of text, and your text isn't going to be defining. I don't want to rip this open. I don't want to talk about anybody's specific SEO. Web design is easy, right? For me to tell you how to optimize with SEO, you obviously want to start using some of those techniques that reflect what works for you. Like I said, with my directory, I didn't choose to have a paragraph at the top of the page. I'm not that design guy who's going to do a paragraph way up here. I can do many paragraphs or call outs in my text. Like you have a little bit of text here that you can utilize. And that's literally it for your design. Yes, you could incorporate some other areas that have a little bit more text. But again, keeping your design the way you want it, in my eyes, that part came first. I can utilize SEO other places on my website, right? Getting into a little bit, I will tell you that this is more design friendly, right? And I want everybody to, there's nothing wrong with this, Shelby. I promise you there's nothing wrong with this. The only thing is, and visually, and I'm not, trust me, if we're ripping something apart, I have no problem telling you, hey, I don't like this, I don't like this. This I'm a little bit curious on because I know where I'm at. First off, I clicked the link or I typed in the link. I'm at Curio Connect. I see the logo here, and it's Curio's online directory. This, I think, and again, I'm not ripping this apart because this could go just like this, or this could be descriptive. If you're like Curio's online directory, that might be something people are searching Google for. And in that way, this would be great, right? If it's not, because I don't know this location, I think that, yes, I know it's a location. Could it be utilized? Could you use things to do in Curio? Or I'm probably killing the name. But could you utilize this? Caro. Perfect. Caro. All right, let's
I
see.
actually changed that because you would not believe how many people cannot comprehend what this website is or what it does. So
That's
especially
right.
like kind of the older people. So that's why I changed it to that, just so that they know exactly what it is when they get there.
That's exactly right. So check out just the utilization, the #1 kiteboarding directory, right? And that's where I want to be right now. I am the #1 kiteboarding directory, but let's just put it how it is. This is exactly what the site entails. And I put a subtitle in there because I feel like, I know we all know what a directory is. I feel like some people that come here, they're like, wait, what? I mean, yes, you should know what the word directory means, but if you don't, let's just put it out to them. Finding the next riding location or vacation destination. In your sense, go ahead.
My 2 cents, I think maybe you gotta try it out with something like Curo's online yellow pages, or I don't know, I'm just that's an example, like yellow pages. People who are older, they're more familiar with the yellow pages terminology or the phrase, I guess. So yeah, you gotta just try it out what people think, I guess.
Even business directory, right? Now I know it's a list of, you can still keep the directory. I'm not afraid of the directory word, but business directory, I mean, it helps you utilize some of the things like what, and then why am I here? So yes, I see it's an online directory. I found you because I seen the post on Facebook. Let's just say that. But what am I jumping into? Can I find someplace to eat? Is it just for business? Is it just homes? And I still, granted, you have these call outs, which makes it a little bit clearer, but without reading these, I still don't know what you do, right? Nothing, again, I love the layout. I love where you've been. But let them know a little bit further. Maybe that's the second line. Find anything to do in the location, and I was about to say the name again and kill it, but I won't. But let them exactly know, why they're here. This is what it is.
You can actually have a subheading as well, just on add.
Of course. But I do like the fact that you opened it up here. So yes, if I look a little bit further, auto, beauty, health, and you've got an array of things here, as well as an array of things here. So at this point, when I take a deeper look, I know exactly what this is about, and I can jump into these pages. Again, lack of text, but we won't get into lack of anything. Now that you know what we can increase on, start finding your keywords first, right? So I'm not going to guess your keywords either. I would plug them in to, see if there was competitors. I would take those. If I was looking, this is in Texas, right?
Yes.
I would look at other Texas directories. I'd find competition keywords that were easy to promote on, right? And of course, South Texas might not be the same. I don't know exactly where the location is, but South Texas might not be the same as North Texas, So you've got different locations. So some of those keywords I wouldn't be able to utilize, but some of those keywords I can. Once you get that keyword list, where all can you use them, right? You can put a little bit of text. And again, don't sacrifice design over text, but if you can get a little bit of call out and break up these just image, bam, a little bit of text here. Matter of fact, what I like to do is I like to keep my buttons separate. I know you've put it right inside this design, but there's nothing stopping you from having 2 or 3 sentences here and your call out buttons on the right? Which can still utilize some of that white space. Again, I put it on a different line, but you can see how easy you can add those keywords like, hey, find a place for rent in Curo, Texas. Renters, and now I'm looking for renting in Texas or renting in Curo. And those could be some different keywords. And again, I would have to do the keyword research to see if that is that worth my time. And now you don't want to put all your keywords on one page. So each page I have one, maybe a secondary long-term keyword, but I focus on that keyword. So for your main site, if somebody's looking on Google to find your main site, what are some things that they should type into Google? It could be Curo directory. Am I spelling this right? Oh yeah, directory. First thing that pops up are these. My idea would be that if you think that people are typing that in to find Curo directory, I would show up on the homepage, right? How much work do I have to do? Again, in SEO, I don't think it's going to be, looking at these results, I don't think it's that hard because I don't even see the word directory in any of these. It says staff directory, and of course it's in Curo, but using that specific keyword, you could, I think you could definitely get on the top of that search, but that's just one search, right? What else is good? So things to do in Curo, right? That people are always searching for that. So yeah, utilize some of that. Again, your webpage is looking, your homepage is looking really good. I had some people asking me about how to do this. I was like, well, I can't just copy and paste it. I don't really have access to the site, but what you can do is build it from scratch. And somebody referenced the site. They're like, hey, I want to do it just like this. Hey, oh my God, give me just a second. Hey, shut this damn door.
That's okay, Tim.
That's my big thing. Sorry. So yeah, stop. Sam, can you take it over for just a second?
Sure. Yeah. Next, maybe we can take a look at Ray, your website. I see that you have made a lot of changes. Yeah, go ahead, Shelby. You were saying something?
No, I'm good. I think Tim covered it.
Okay, yeah. So I like that. I like the way you're using the real estate under inside the first fold. Like you're not just giving too much space to the hero header. You have, when people land, they can see other stuff as well. So that was clever.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I definitely love the use and everything here. Like you said, you're just working on SEO, so no reason to really try to find the SEO here. Do you do blogs on this, latest news, articles, whatever you want to call them?
I haven't yet, but I plan to.
Weren't these set up in blog format?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Those are all set up as a post, but I mean, I haven't done any actual blog posts.
It's content on a page, right? So I know that these, I don't know enough about this topic here, but could you use a keyword in here that was on your list? And that's where it comes to mind that, yeah, you could. And even if it's not considered a blog, some people are like, oh, I don't want to put a blog. I like the word latest news for business sites. I would run a personal blog as Overnight Coder, but on my business sites, I like to call it latest news or articles, just my personal preference. And as you notice on my site, I didn't even link it in the header because I honestly, I don't want, and this is, again, my personal opinion, I don't want people coming to my website and going to the blog, right? I didn't create a blog. I created a business directory, and that's the focus of my thing. But if you notice, I had to go all the way down to my footer. I clicked on latest news and articles, and I do have it there. Again, you can find it, but the real method is people are finding my blogs on Google. And that's what I want. When you come to a blog or you come to a news article or you come to a page that you found on Google, now you see I have a business directory. So you really came for Cape Hatteras kiteboarding. You clicked on the link, you read this great news post, but wait, where am I at? And then they're on a business directory. So now they start planning their vacations, looking for shops and schools. And you don't have to do it like that. Terry is in the group. She's chosen to mute herself, but Terry ran a big blog. I won't share her website, But Terry, before she even started a business directory, she had thousands of viewers on a blog and or a news site. And it was great for her SEO traffic. I don't know how much advertising she had to do, but she's getting a lot of traffic from that. Now she's taken her blog and she's pointed it solely, not solely, but she's got advertisements around her blog to the news site or to the business directory. And I don't know offhand, but I don't know if Terry was making any money just as a blog site. Again, now the focus, and I don't know if that's her focus, but yes, she does allow visitors to find that blog, and then she points them to that business directory where she can make a lot more money, right? Listings, and definitely things like that. So really cool to see that. And again, having that existing traffic already, her job is made a little bit easier than the rest of us who are just starting a regular directory and don't have any content, or we're building content. So great job there. She's got a wonderful site with, now she's got a blog and a directory separate, but you don't necessarily have to do that. Any other questions, comments? I see there was a link.
Tim, I want to just throw in something like about content or optimizing content or creating a blog piece. Personally, I believe in creating a lot of rich content. It's not just about text. Like you want to add maybe like some video or tweets or quotes or something that is not just a plain, images and stuff like that, right? To make the blog post rich. What do you think about that? When it comes to optimizing your blog post and stuff for your directory?
I think it's very important. It's not only important for the content. Like, I don't know how much, like if I put a YouTube video on there, I don't know that's, and again, I'm not I should be up to date, but I don't know if the algorithms are going to catch that video and give me more credibility. But in just that scenario with just a video, like I think that you are going to keep user retention if you've got great blog posts that don't just have a bunch of, like that one blog post I showed you didn't have any images. That's not normally what I do. Right, I like to have images. I like to have H1 tags, H2 tags. I like to follow the SEO format. I feel like throwing a video on the page. I'm just using the video as an example, probably a bad example, but yes, this will hold the user retention. When you're looking at content. Like if I see a video, that could be cool. Let me just see if I can pull up one of these. Riding locations, Anne's Beach. I think I started with some videos in some of these listings. If I can find one, that'll be perfect. And no, perfect. Yeah, either way, I definitely have some videos in some of these that you would see, and they look good on the page, right? It's a little bit better when you're, all right, this is a bad example. I don't have any videos on this new design. But yeah, I think user retention is great. If your blog post looks like crap and you're just looking to get SEO out of it, I don't think that helps. I think that you want to retain the user, you want them to read through your content. Yes, you do want them to know that you have a fully functional website that might not be based around this one blog post. But I think you're onto something, Sam. You want that additional content.
Thanks for that. If you want to jump on, if we are, if we can keep moving, if there's nothing we want to discuss, we can go to Ray's website, or yeah, that's fine. Michael's website or Ray's website. Ray also shared has. We can look at it after that.
Super cool. I've never seen the map utilized on the homepage. I know it's one of the options. I've just never seen it, and I've never incorporated it. But so far, so good. Looks good.
2 cents here about the map. The icon, the category icons are missing. That way it looks very plain with all those bubbles. It should have icons. So, there seems to be more like texture or variety. Right now it's just plain icon, like blank icons or blank pins rather. You know what I'm talking about, right, Tim?
Yeah, I definitely understand. So in the theme settings, you have 2 options. The icons, you can do a general icon. It's just going to be a listing general theme option or theme options listings. Just on the general page, you can pick an icon that represents everything. Even better is you can go into, don't use that icon. And if you go into your listing categories, so you're talking about listing categories, and on the back end, you can actually set up an icon for each one of your categories, which if you have multiple categories, which I haven't gotten into yet, you would see a different category icon. So for example, Baja Live has golf, and all the little icons that say golf or would have a little golf ball or a little golf tee. So really cool if you're going to utilize this. And what Sam's saying is, and he's right, all these are just blank circles, right? Not, I like the map, but the blank circles is killing it, right? So if you could utilize that category icon and start depicting those. Another thing is this is not opening up. There it goes. Maybe it's just my mouse. But yeah, category icons would definitely help you redefine. And it's a simple fix, right? It's not like you have to go each one of these listings. Again, you're just adjusting the categories to have the icon that represents them. And you can get those from any icon site. So icon 8 is my favorite, but all free. But yeah, so take a look at that. If we're just going in, got a lot of white space here. So go into Elementor or WP Bakery and drag this up. Also, I thought this was going to be a full web page. What I didn't notice is that's the end of it. I'm not really a fan of just stopping there. The reason is you're missing a lot of key features. If you allow advertisement, which I won't be able to see, but you don't allow advertisement on the homepage. So where does that spotlight ad come in? If you're allowing them to pay you additional money and for you to get a little bit more publicity. I love this blue on the bottom. If we're just going crazy from a design standpoint, it doesn't match your logo. So you're using 1, 2, let's say black is the third, and then this random blue that really, I don't know if it's on the rest of your website. If it is, by all means, nothing wrong with utilizing that color. I will tell you that when I'm designing a website, I think they look much better. My personal opinion is if you keep within those colors you selected, right? So I would utilize this blue, this red, and black, maybe a gray, just because black and gray are neutral, and stick with those when possible. Again, just my personal feedback. That's not set in stone.
And then there's the map, because that also had a lot of blue in it.
Which one?
On the home page, the hero header has a map, and then all that white like space around the map. This on the Google map, you see the light blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's also another blue that you're dealing with.
Yeah. No, we got clusters. Just a little bit different. I don't mind the clusters. Let's take a look at the search page though, just to give you a little bit of feedback. Something here is definitely screwed, messy. Your featured image looks great. I'm not gonna lie, that featured image, that's what you should be doing. A lot of people don't do that. I think this is, they're different companies. So if the company doesn't have something, you didn't keep that pink, purple, this is a positive for me. I like to see this in every aspect of the game. I will let them know, in some, I'll be like, hey, claim your listing. That way people know, look, this doesn't make, not that I want it to look unclaimed, but that way the person is more inclined to claim it. But really like that. You do have some formatting issues. I'm not sure if it's because the image is just a logo in both these scenarios, but a little bit of CSS. Again, you could do a max or minimum height for these if you get photos like these, because as you see, that's unreadable. But again, minimum CSS, if you get with one of us, somebody can provide you some CSS, or you can learn CSS and just do a minimum height on these little boxes. But definitely like this. The right side of your page is empty. I'm just going to run through bits and pieces that I find helpful. I like to throw ads in here. So the advertisement that the system already handles, that's going to be an appearance widgets. I do notice that this text spills over and makes your header super high. I know that you might not be able to change this notice because you might need all of that, but figure out a different way. Maybe links go here and you make it 2 columns. But just because you've done that, you've got all this extra blue space, you could definitely find a solution for. Icons, I doubt these go where you want them. So definitely, when you get back there, they don't. So that's theme option splitter. Either remove these or make them linked. You can't go live like this where they don't go to your social media. And if you have this many social medias, I hope you're good at social media, because it's going to be really hard to keep up with all of these platforms and keep them consistently beautiful and good. And then again, let's just take a look at some of these real quick, and we'll keep it quick because this says general content. Kids going crazy. MSL retailers. I like the page content. So a little bit more in the sidebar area. Again, you can utilize that space for advertisement. You can use it for anything that you want, really. Sign up here. I noticed that this is the third different font I've seen, especially even on this page. Take a look at this font compared to your title font. Sizing of the font, I'm okay with different sizing. If you're reading something, keep in mind, like when you see a normal article, you'll see, so this should be your biggest title, whatever's at the top. And then this says great perks, where you go from listing something which should be in a bigger title, and then subtitles of, oh, free shipping, free merchandise. So in my opinion, this title should be bigger. And then, of course, smaller title, maybe not smaller than this, maybe this is just a little bit bigger, but then using those subtitles. And again, because this is the third font I've seen, matter of fact, fourth font or fourth styling I've seen now, try to keep it consistent. Elementor has a really cool tool where in the back end, I want to show everybody this. I wish my kid would stop screaming in the background. Well, that's my wife getting on her. Put them outside, right? We're just going to edit this page with Elementor because I want to show everybody. I think WP Bakery can do this. I'm just not sure how to utilize it, but here's Elementor, right? So if I'm in an Elementor page, I create everything in different sections. So of course, this is a title, this is a text editor. And again, you can do this with paragraphs or anything, but right click, edit heading, right? If you're in Elementor, first off, this is an H2 tag that I set up. Ignore, and I normally don't have any code in here. I just have browse by region, but I wanted to make it a little bit bold. In styling with Elementor, I set the typography, right? So I want Montserrat, I want 37, I want fold, I want the line height, I want letter spacing. Once I have that, I will literally save that as a title, and I'll call it title number 1. That way I save everything that's utilized. Yes, I might change the color on the next one, but when I come down here, edit heading, I can go into style, and I can easily just pick the custom solution I have, and it's we called it title 1, which kept it all the formatting. It didn't change color, but it gave me all the formatting that's exactly the same. So I do that for my titles, and then my content, I would do the same thing. So in this scenario, I have a subtitle text, but maybe it was paragraph text, right? So same thing, style. I would go into my typography. Of course, I don't have it, but if I did have it in a list, bam. Now, I would never use that, but you can see all my formatting will be the same around this site. And it's a really cool tool yeah, my kids normally are good about it, but they're really hyped. So I gave them a lot of sugar for their birthday and sent them with their mom, and now they're back and acting crazy. Michael, did you have a question? I see your hand was up. Did I miss over that? I'm sorry, did you have a question? Did you want to unmute yourself and close that question, Michael? Oh, thanks for the info. Maybe I missed something. Sorry. But yeah, that'll help you, man. Just make sure you're consistent across your site. It'll look much better, right? If I go to your site and I see those 4 fonts, you got people like me that are just going to blow that up, right? Blog, absolutely nothing. Perfect. So that gives you a little bit of rundown, on what I think could be utilized, and just from a designer perspective, that'll get you started. Again, I'd like to do this next week too. So if you get some of that stuff, trying to speak, but it's not working. I don't know, you're off mute. Sorry. Yeah, weird. Well, if you want to type it in the chat, man, I'll come back to it. No worries. Anybody else want to? I know Ray took off, so we won't share his site. Anybody else want to share a site and have me, or anybody just kind of take a look? I hate to use the word ripping it apart because we're giving you positive feedback, right? And I think all that can be utilized, not just in your case. I see this.
Is this working now?
Yeah, it's working. I see this in a lot of cases. But Michael, go ahead.
Oh, it's not working at all. Hello?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Okay. I guess Zoom is so crazy calling in versus doing it over the Zoom. I live way out in the country, and so the bandwidth is on satellite not as good as hopefully when Elon Musk comes around, but it's not here yet. Anyhow, that's my site. I appreciate y'all going over it with the ideas. It's primarily just for, I'm a distributor for that company, Amsoil, and I created this on my own to feature my customers. I don't really see many people coming to the main homepage. My whole idea was that they would be found locally, like if they're in the Google and they type in Amsoil, Clarksville, Tennessee, hopefully they would go right to that listing or the listings that are for that local area. So I haven't really focused on the homepage as much, but I do appreciate you talking about the fonts and all that stuff. So that's good things. I took a bunch of notes here. So,
All
but
right, perfect. Listen, this used to be a beautiful site. I hate to see this now, but I did the same thing. And unfortunately, I just talked to this client. They lost their manager for this, and something on their hosting side has messed this up. And we physically seen it. But I want to show you something. Even though the site, you can imagine what normally this would look like. I promise. It is one of my designs, and I know for a fact it was hosting. We just got into it. Matter of fact, I think the issue was it was redirecting to this garbage for some reason. But let me see if I can pull it up. I want to show you an idea. No, map isn't working either. Oh, come on. I want to show you an idea that they came up with. They had their original, and I didn't do the original site. I promise this looks like a good website. But what they had was their original site, and they redirected the homepage not to use the homepage, right? They included on their original site, Boxdrop does matches all around the United States, maybe even world, I'm not sure. But inside they had to find a store near you. We redirected, and this might be a good idea from you, so you don't even see a homepage, redirected that homepage straight to find a store near you. Now I want you to have some visibility. Normally this had a few more features and the giant map that was right here. And yes, even though like I'm in Titus or close to Titusville, this is already pulling places near me, which was really essential to finding the closest location, 8.9 miles away. And all we did was big map so they could still find things, listing details, so whether it was here, there, or the other one, and then filters on the left. I promise you, this looked like a great layout when their hosting was acting right. And it might be something you want to utilize as well. Skip all the dramatics and send them over to that retail store, especially if you have, an original site to already flow off of.
Yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense. The other thing I'm having trouble with these guys is getting so like all the accounts that are mine, I put in there for my own, but then I've got distributors that are on our team that I can't seem to get them to make their own listing, and understanding why it's so important. Most of the guys that I work with, they have a $30 one-page Amsoil site, and they wonder why they can't get found on the internet. And I was like, well, if you get listed, it'll help you get found. They don't seem to be getting that. So I don't know if anybody else has trouble getting people to, is it better that I make the listing and then have them claim it type of thing? It's all free. So this is all free for anybody that's in my company, because obviously anytime somebody buys from any of those things, I get a little cut of that. So that's why I don't have ads on there or anything like that. So
yeah, of course, I understand that. No, that makes sense. You don't need these guys to be featured. You definitely don't want third-party ads. This is all stuff you want to keep within your business. With that being said, the Boxdrop company, I actually recommended it to them, man, because they have $30 websites too. And I can't imagine why a big company like Amsoil or Boxdrop wouldn't have a professional looking layout. I went to some of these. They look like, well, I can't say 12-year-olds because now 12-year-olds can build some awesome sites, but they look like my 6-year-old had made the website, and it was like psychedelic. And I'm like, dude, how does this company even represent what you guys have? Well, it was like, it was a franchise, and they provide their own website. I'm not sure what position you hold at the company, but
pretty much similar. It's so I'm not the corporation. It's just me as a little old guy, redneck from Tennessee, that came up with an idea after reading the rules that said, each distributor can have their own directory. And I'm like, oh, well, let me do that and help everybody else that's on my team. So that was kind of how I came up with the idea. I guess I probably need some professional help. I've gone through I don't know, 2 or 3 people helping me. The original directory one from like 5 or 6 years ago totally crashed and didn't work. And then I went to this ListingPro about a year and a half or 2 years ago, and just it's just finding somebody that understands what I'm trying to lay down for them. And it sounds like just your suggestions alone, you know, maybe I need to talk offline with you a little bit. So
Yeah, no worries, man. You can find me at overnightcoder.com. There's contact there. You can reach me from the Facebook groups. Sam is also, for anybody who needs help, Sam is also going to put, I don't work for their customization department, but if you need any customizations, I think they do consultation. I know they do consultation calls, as well as they have a team that can help you. I'm not sure that it's really code edits with either solution you go for. You know, I always take in client work, but either solution you go with, I don't think you're looking for customizations. You're just looking for a design aspect that works, right? And I'm familiar with AMSOIL. It's professional. If I had to scream, does this site, you know, would I be willing to list on this site? You know, would I? I'm not sure, you know, and I don't want to answer that question, but there's some things that you could definitely fix. I do have some recommendations that I'll give to you right here. You mentioned something, and again, because I've dealt with companies like Box Drop, they actually not only do box drop, they do sapphire mattresses. They have a third site. They're all having the same map issue. So again, it starts off with good hosting and somebody who knows what they're doing. But with that being said, I recommended to them, you know, a one-time design. Yes, somebody's going to have to pay me out of pocket, right? If I build a website, you know, and I'm talking about a 3 to 5 page design, and you duplicate that design for all those people with those tacky websites, could you offer it for free? Well, first off, if I was in charge of marketing for them, look, man, I'll give it to you for free, because in the end, I might not see a dollar from your store, but the overall sales going up, or even if maybe I am getting a percentage, depending on who I am on that totem pole. Listen, I'd build it out for free, right? 3 to 5 page website, duplicate it over and over and over, change the contact deals and the location. And now, you know, it's when I go to some of these box drop stores, man, I can't buy from a company like that. You know, if I see your web design and it looks like a 6-year-old made it, look, I can't do business online. I can go to your shop and, you know, if I see something better there, maybe. But if I find you online and I can't trust you online, I don't know that I can trust you in person either. You know, so building out a template like that, reusing it. If you could, yeah, the idea would, well, sell it to a company, right? Sell it to them for $50. Let them see it. $50 times 100, you know, you've made $5,000, and all you're doing is changing out contact info. Can you host it? Yeah, I'd do all that if they were interested. Could you build it one time? Can you sell it for $10 or $20 and just have a contract for, you know, selling at least 500 of them? Now you're talking about a $20 template that you've reused 500 times and only changed contact form. That's worth it, even for a web design. I don't know about $20, but I mean, we're right in that avenue. Hell yeah, I'd sign a contract for something like that. You know, but get something repeatable. Should you add the listings? That depends on you. If there was enough, so when I started my kiteboarding directory, I had to list my own businesses. You know, I had to list everybody else's businesses because nobody even knew about me. Once you become that site and you're getting that traffic, there's no reason one of these companies, and if you can prove it to Ricetown Auto or Westfall Off-Road Industries, why they should list with you, it's free. Just sign up, add your business information. It'll be great, you know, and there's plenty of benefits on why they should. But until they see that benefit, they're just reaping. And unfortunately, businesses just get so used to, like, the kiteboarding area. I used to work at the kiteboarding shop in my would he list on my business directory? At first, no, he wouldn't, because he's just comfortable with the business that he's already getting. What did my directory really offer? Well, we all know what it offered. It offered a place for kiteboarders to find business directories. At some point, business was booming so much, he claimed his listing. Not only that, he paid for the premium spot. Not that that's what you're doing, but yeah, now he pays to be on my. I offered this to him for free, you know, but he didn't want to do it then.
I had one call me off of the listing, and it said, you know, we're getting calls for AMSOIL and we don't want to stock it, you know. So I guess they hate money. So they said, can you take our listing down? You know, a free listing, and they're getting calls for a product, and it's like, well, we decided we don't want to stock it, whatever. And I'm like, okay, great. I took them off the listing.
Hey,
but,
don't take them off. So here's the thing: tell them to sign up and remove it themselves. Tell them you don't have somebody else out. Tell them whatever you want to tell them, because here's the deal: that lead comes in, or change the phone number. change the phone number to one of these stores in their local area that does want to do it. I would capitalize so much off that business. Here's another trick.
Oh,
Right
that's a good
now,
idea.
if this company does, because some reason that SEO is pulling in where somebody's hitting your website and they are calling them from here, not their website. So you're doing a much better job at advertising than they ever were. But
Yeah.
why not utilize that to somebody who does want that lead? So this is an example. I don't know if you added this or they added it, doesn't matter. If you added this listing, you get the contact email, right? You get this, you don't get the phone call, but if they were to fill this out, now I call Westfall Off-Road Industries and I'm like, hey, look, I just had somebody that contacted me on this website. Matter of fact, you can go there, claim it right now, add your email, and you'll get the direct listings. And if that company says, you know what, screw off, man, I didn't add that, that's fine. I'll go to Pittman, PA. I'll find 4 other companies that do want this lead. I'll tell them to add their business, right? Add their own business. Matter of fact, because Wes Awful, he was such a bad guy, I might even change this information to the new company's name. You know, again, you're doing this for free, but if somebody finds that, like, and again, you don't want to send them to Florida all of a sudden, but I'm sure there are other people close to this location that you can utilize and then contact them. Look, I'm getting leads for Westfall, but they never signed up. Did you guys want to sign up? It's free. Just add your listing.
Nice. A good
So
idea. I like it.
utilize those tools to incentivize other people to sign in if they haven't or they don't already. First off, I would call Westfall, right? I got a bunch of listings on I still have 4,000 scrape listings on my kiteboarding directory. And unfortunately, I didn't contact 4,000 people. I'm letting them find their own directory on Google. I have reached out to a few, but 4,000, I don't mass email. It's too hard. So I get these random people going to Pho and they're like, hey, I'm going to the Vietnam and I want to know if you guys have kite rental for August of next year or January next year. And I won't respond back to the user individually, but I got that email. I know exactly what business they're talking about. I reach out to that business. There are a lot of cases the business owner will come back and be like, oh, thanks, I didn't even know this existed. I'm going to claim the listing now. There are a lot of times I don't get a response. And then there are a lot of times people say, hey, we're not even interested. I'm like, dude, the listing was free. I'm giving you a lead for free. And I actually respect those people that come back. At least they said something to me. That's when I go to 3 other people in Vietnam and I'm like, hey, look, I got somebody coming in January. You guys have gear rental. This is their contact information. Choose to use it or don't, right?
Mhm.
But it gets my name out a lot more. And I'm helping the client, right? I'm helping that client who originally contacted us. So Terry was the next one in chat. Let's
Thanks,
just see
bud.
how-
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, man, I'm always here. Again, reach out, customizations, templates, whatever we need to help you out. Again, these calls are free though. So even the recommendations that we made, the redirection, you can do all that on your own as well. Terry, let's do it. So Terry's site, this is one of the tennis sites. Again, this isn't her blog site. I'll just disclaimer. I don't like showing my own work here only because a lot of times the client takes it over, right? The client will take over the work and some things, Terry's definitely taking this over. And the good news is I do like her site. I designed this, I want to say a while ago. And there are some things that I definitely didn't add, right? I had 3 boxes, just to give you an example. She's added images on the background. I can't tell you if that's positive or negative. There are some things that are just not, 100% me. So let's rip it apart though. One of my designs, I'll rip it apart. The first thing I don't like, I love her video. And as you can see this kind of playing, I love it, right? Some parts are cut off, but it wasn't designed especially for this format. I don't think she should go bigger with the format because then it pushes things past the fold. Maybe just a little bit she could. But again, not too worried. I like the call out. Remember we told Shelby, we know what the site's about and we have the call out. This site probably lacks a little bit of SEO. I'm not sure exactly how much SEO we did for it, but I know that specific pages, we didn't go into all those pages. Going into a little bit more, I do like the top menu because she's gonna have a lot more stuff going on. I will show you, I like the custom coded pricing plan page that allows her to sell not only ListingPro stuff, but allows her to sell additionals. And again, we created that. Going into some things I would fix. I don't like when this video first loads. The first half of it, watch it. The first half of that screen is gray. I never like that from start. but I like the rest of the video. Like this was a little confusing until I realized it was a tennis court on the bottom, right? Refresh one more time, bam. So I didn't like that, but I do like the perspective where like the camera was on the ground filming and all the other aspects. She's got 3 call to actions, which I do like. I think that the padding could probably be a little bit, I normally don't like white space, but I think the padding could be a little bit more in between here just to kind of separate this from this. We already know that a couple of these images are squished, but I do like the layout where you've got text on the side. Maybe refine this a little bit smaller so if it's all on one line. And then this image is just a little squished for me, which I'm sure we've talked about. Next, she goes into finding tennis destinations. She's just showing premium listings. Nothing wrong with that. Some more call outs. She's got upcoming events and plan a trip. I happen to know where these go. I like the section here. And I'm going to let Sam see if he can find anything to kind of rip it apart. Again, no hard feelings, but it's really hard picking apart my own work and being, hey, I don't like this. Because, yeah, this is something that we designed based on what she had and what we needed. Any recommendations? You muted yourself. Anybody else see any recommendations based on, again, web designer perspective, or I can go into some of these other ones. Let's take a look while we're waiting. Search page. There was a little bit of customization just with the CSS styling. Normally this is gray box, the standard text, gray text here, and then I think these are pink automatically. So just knowing a little bit of styling in CSS, we're able to go in here, right click them, and I'll give everybody just so you can see. Matter of fact, let's not do that. Let's do here, inspect. And it's really easy to change something inside styling. Like, so this is green, normally it's pink. And you go here, you pick one of the colors from your logo, right? So she wanted that orange, not that she would want that. You hit enter and you just literally can copy this coding into your appearance CSS. Again, that video that I started at the top of the chat on my YouTube channel shows you exactly how to do that. And if she were to save this, now that text would be orange. Not that she wants to do orange on top of orange. So that's where we came in and just kind of stylized this to match her colors instead of grays. Looks really good here. I would definitely add something to the sidebar. The good thing about your site is we know you have a blog, right? What is let me link over there so we can look at that. I don't even know where it is. Planet upcoming tennis events. How do I find articles? So the fact that she has a secondary site, which I also designed, was really fun. We did some cool banners. We were able to, Hamza, he posted that in there. We were able to kind of utilize pieces of this around your site. So, where we did banners from your blog site over to your directory, you can almost do the same here if you wanted to. Again, I don't know. It's kind of touch and base if I would pull people from my directory to a blog, but I would definitely fill this up with content, at least from around this site, right? Some things that you could definitely fill out are, premium listings. If you're using premium listings, show those premium ads here. Content from around the site. And again, this is just an appearance widget. This is your archive detail sidebar. Really easy to just throw widgets in there. You can do text from around the site, right? You can put categories like you have here, tennis camps. You can do that here, and just redefine things from around the site. Something I don't like, and I hope, I don't think I was in charge of this, was your locations don't have locations. So inside of here, I see 6, and I know that there's more than 6 listings on this page. So just making sure that when you go in here and you're editing that listing, if you have a physical address, or even if you just have map coordinates, if you were to put those in, like this one probably does because I'm seeing map coordinates, but for some reason I'm seeing 6 out of 20 listings that are on the page. I don't like that functionality. Like I'd like to see a lot more. On this has 4, 3 and 1, which is not correct, right? On this page, you probably have 20 listings. So refining that's just some theme options, setting that up. Here's where that icon that we talked about early really does it justice, right? You see the icon here. It looks great for tennis court. She's got the tennis icon and just looks much better than just that plain circle. So really good job utilizing that there. I know you did that because I did not. Find a court. This is all search. Let's check out your events. Events I would have styled up with your colors, so that looks good. Filling it out a little bit more. Maybe even having some events details. So here's a page you could literally utilize for SEO, whether it was at the top in a subtitle or whether it was information at the bottom, but let them know what tennis events is, right? And I'm just getting nitpicky now. You got plenty of room for text on this page. I'm not saying fill it up with 10 paragraphs, but plenty of room to do something tennis events around the world and utilize that for SEO, because that's what this meeting's about, and keyword strategies. Articles, we already know articles links you to a whole nother page. I love what you did there. Your blog page is I mean, I love the design that we put in, but I love the content and how much content you have for just keeping it consistent. You guys can kind of get an idea. This is her blog post counts. You know, she's done a really great job at providing the content, which is why she gets the traffic. Really love the blog. Well, yeah, that came out wonderful. Additional pages, contact us today. Just going to go over a few of these and then get back to the notes. Add a tennis destination. We already checked out the advertising sponsorship, which is just, you know, an Elementor layout. Let's take a look at a couple more pages and just see what's going on. Not this page, but this page. Contact us. This was the original style that we had that was just different from the ListingPro style. Definitely missing something here, whether that's just a little bit of information about you, about what you're trying to do. I think you could definitely use that. I like the fact that we have headers on the pages that are all different. You know, the headers just give it a little bit of focus and break between the menu. So really great job there. And then plans. So we redesigned the custom plan page for anybody looking. I've got a tutorial on this. All we did was we created ListingPro plans, and then we rip out the button. What I mean by ripping out the button is you right click on the button, inspect the page, and just grab, like, because you know how many of us are really designers, you grab the form, which is here, and edit it as HTML. So if you have that default ListingPro look with really no coding knowledge, you can take this button from the free listing and use Elementor WP Bakeries plans just to design something a little bit different, right? So this is what we came up with. I have no cons about your pricing page, although I now would have taken this in to have a switcher, right? One of those switchers that said, hey, this is for business listings, and hey, this is for tennis coaches. And when you switch it, it would switch from this to seeing this, because I know you do have different plans for those, but really like the colors and utilization. And you know, your logo did it all. So a lot of this was already predefined by her and her old listing, or the old design. And we just decked it out a little bit more. But awesome job. Hopefully you utilize that. A lot more SEO. I noticed that this doesn't have a lot of SEO. You can utilize SEO everywhere on this.
Tim, whose site is this?
This is Terry's. Her.
Oh, wow. Awesome job, man. I really love the homepage. Is it okay? I don't know if Terry is still there. Can we feature this in one of our blog posts?
Terry is probably open to you featuring it. I'll let her respond. She is still here, but she's always open. She's like, yeah, share my site, share my site. So again, she will probably say yes, but we'll wait on
Yeah,
her.
we get decent traffic on our blog, so some free traffic and a good.
No, just for the chat. Wait, Terry said yes, you can feature it.
Sure. Okay.
Just to read out some of these chat messages. Shelby's thought on why people don't claim and sign up, even if it's for free. It's hard for average people to see the value in signing up or claiming their listing because they don't understand all the aspects working in their favor. A good workaround for this would be to create more educational content that makes them understand the benefits of being listed. However, it takes so much time to create all this. Shelby's right. You know, I noticed that on her site, and she doesn't mind us sharing either, she has done those additional pages. So first off, a regular pricing plan, especially with ListingPro, doesn't have any more than, you know, hey, sign up for this and you get this. Shelby and many others have given you the benefits on, you know, adding a listing and what you actually get. In a regular pricing plan, I want to take you here, actually, on this one, I can't. Let's go back to, because I think you have to be logged in. Let's go back to tennis courts around the world. A default pricing plan normally looks something like this. I know this one's styled up just a little bit different, has 4 columns, but it looks like this, right? You got the features, you got a button, and you got the price. But it doesn't show you, do you get a dashboard? You know, you get features, you get analytics and stats. And Shelby has taken you that route. Now, the cool thing is a lot of these pictures, if you can't find them on ListingPro's website, which you can, you can take these yourself, right? You do want to take them yourself. So Shelby's got a background of a computer. She's taken a picture of her homepage and giving you an instruction or a featured listing page and giving you the instructions first, how to add a listing, choosing a plan, entering the business. So she literally walks you through those steps, showing you these cool pages that nobody would have ever seen, right? They don't know that they get a dashboard stats. They don't know. And again, this is just what she's decided to show, and many other, well, a few others have decided to tell you that, look, and you even get these additional features, how it works. Here's another page that she's created. Super easy. This is how it works. It's super easy. Find your listing, hit the claim now button, choose a plan, verify ownership. And she goes through the process of showing you this, which is really awesome the way she's done that. Some people have went a little bit more above. Well, that one was really great. I know Pre-Lifestyle spent a lot of time with, hey, how do you create the best listing? Not only what Shelby did, but well, fill out all the information properly. Some people don't want to read through all that, but here's another example where somebody has taken, just basic screenshots, shown people the same methods of doing that type of thing. Let me see if I can find one. What was this getting started? Let's do features overview. She probably has this page. I didn't see it, but what do I actually get? Well, you get review listing stats. You can make announcements. You can set appointments. And I know this is in the general, like, oh yeah, you can add a website, social media, you can add events, you can add announcements, but a visual, gives you a lot more, right? So, just having that visual somewhere that shows you, these are the things you can do. So super awesome. The great job to both you and him on displaying some of that information, which is priceless, letting them see what they get. Now, the true value, especially in that AMS oil, I need to know, and this was a big hurdle for me, I need to know that the site is going to be something. First off, I'm not going to pay whatever anybody is asking if I don't see that value. So if you launch this week as a web designer, I know, first off, you don't have that value. Let's be honest, my kiteboarding directory, no reason for people to sign up for $49 a month. I didn't have any traffic my first week. Well, I had a little bit of traffic because I invited all my friends. I'm in 20 million Facebook groups, but I didn't have the traffic I needed for $49 a month. I did not have that traffic. Now, of course, I didn't keep those $49 price ranges. I started off a little bit lower, and yes, my site, it's definitely worth the value for $9, but you have to have that value. So build up your directory first, get some statistics. Once people know you as that directory, once you're providing leads, once your people around them, all their competitors are in there, people, if you build it, they will come. What's that Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come, but you got to have that traffic and then show people that traffic. I'm not saying you have to show statistics, but you could, you could say, hey, we've had, this many, whatever you want to do, build that trust. Sam's got a lot of recommendations. Just going down the chat real quick, and then we'll get to the live chat. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. A bunch of recommendations for AI tools. I recommend those. Great idea. That's not it. Hamza, I'm sure you got Hamza. Is this the same Hamza from the ListingPro groups that's always helping in the ListingPro theme group? Are you one of the developers too, or no? I don't think it's Hamza. I think it's somebody else. Welcome to have you. Terry says, yes, you can feature it in Canva to create these great mock-ups. Yeah, Canva's great. Canva's, I think they have a free version, don't they? Love the way Shelby has explained the process and the benefits to the list. I've asked him to help me and add something similar. Terry, we just mentioned that you're definitely on my list. We'll definitely get those pages added, but you're extremely right. Letting them know the beneficial to signing up is key, until everybody's seeing that value. Again, once I'm known as the kiteboarding directory, hell, if you're not paying $49, you're missing out, right? And I'll leave it at that at some point. It wasn't worth that week one, no. It wasn't.
Tim, if we have, do we still have some time left?
Oh, we got time in my book, man. I'm here all day.
Okay, no, because we can wrap up early because it's your birthday.
Oh, hey, birthday early. I love it. So let's give it 10 more minutes. That'll be our 90 minutes. 10 more minutes. If anybody has any questions, we'll keep this one 90 minutes. Again, if you guys want to reach out, ListingPro does customization work. I'm sometimes looking for work. These guys got me full. I think currently we're working on, I dropped a list from 14 ListingPro sites to 9 business directories, most of them with Listing Pro. So again, we're here to help. The Facebook groups, great for free help. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times, and just because it's not a one-on-one, because other users can utilize it, I'll drop a code in there for free, like it's nobody's business, because everybody can use it, So again, join the Facebook groups if you're not already in there. Any finalized questions? Any last views? I don't know if we have time to review a full site right now, but any final questions to wrap this up? SEO and monetization was the topic. But again, if you have any questions, we're here for the next 10 minutes for you.
I have a question about the titles in the homepage. I tried to change the fonts for it, like you told me, but it won't change. Only the description changes the font. I don't know what's like the problem with it.
What titles are you talking about?
The titles in my homepage in my website.
You want to show us your website, or you want to? No, maybe.
Yeah, I'll share the link right now.
All right, yeah, let's just take a look. I can tell you a common problem. I'm going to log into a Listing Pro website just so I can show you. I don't use the headers. Oh yeah, I've seen
You can
this
do
site.
demo. Tim, you want to do the demo one? Just
She's agreed. I'm just going to theme options. I don't think we'll see. Wait, let me think. We're not gonna see anything that she doesn't want us to see from here. So we're just gonna go into theme options. I want to show you the utilization of general. Right? So here I am. I remove page title H1. I turn that off, and I'll show you why. I think that's going to be the issue. But can you reference me to a page that does that?
This is the homepage, like the featured local spots. It won't change the typography, but the description changed. Like it's not the same font.
Let's take a look. I think I have access to this still. No.
Yeah.
This is WP Baker or Elementor?
Elementor.
All right. Yeah. Let me just help you, because other people might have that question. So maybe I have, maybe I don't. We'll find out.
Are you talking about like in Elementor when you go to change it, that you can change it, but it doesn't actually make the changes?
Yes, exactly. And even the color, it won't change.
I don't have.
Yeah, I had that exact same problem, and I finally found something online. You would probably know it, Tim, if I said it, but it was something like in the Elementor settings from your WordPress that you like disabled a font. Sorry, my kids are being crazy now too. It was like you disabled some kind of font setting from your WordPress dashboard in the Elementor settings. I think that finally let me start changing it.
Let's take a quick look real quick, and I'll just see what he's talking about. But you might be right. I disable internal embedding, which is one of the settings in Elementor. Do you mind if I take this over?
Yeah.
All right, so here, so first off, this is an icon box. I personally wouldn't have chose icon box, but let's take a look. So title is this, style is title, icon box. So here, orange, it's not changing. All right, so we're gonna take a look. I think your general styling is overriding that, is what it is. So she's probably right. I don't think this is the Elementor CSS area. I do like to define these a little bit better. So I normally don't use the icon box, but let's just take a look. We're gonna go to your appearance settings. I normally would use icon, title, text editor. And I know it seems like a little bit more work, but then I have full control of the padding, spacing, sizing. I have full control over 3 different elements instead of 1. That's just my personal recommendation. It doesn't need to happen. What we need to do is find your site settings. Let's just take a look. I'm not really familiar with where she's talking about, but it is overriding, and I'll show you. We're going to go back to, and maybe she can help us find it. But go to your homepage, and I just inspect. You have something saying all your Elementor icon box titles should be black 33, right? And that's just overriding anything else. And if I change that, now, if you wanted to do all of them the same color, like all your Elementor icon boxes same color, you could easily define exactly what you wanted and set that in customized CSS, which could help. But again, this is already predefining pop-ins, a font weight, a font size, and everything else, right? CSS, you would just copy what you want and paste it in there. If you want it like me, I want them all, they should all be the same size as its icon boxes. But again, you might not utilize that. So in Elementor, let's just take a quick look. I can't promise you I know where it's at, but we've got a couple minutes. If we can find something like that where your theme is overriding, we're going to go to, actually that was Elementor overriding. So they wouldn't have, weird. Elementor here, settings. It's probably, anybody speak out if you see it. I'm not really 100% sure, but I'll take a real quick look. Style seems like where it could be at. Looking for
I
style.
think Shelby sent something here. Settings, checking this box with disable elementor default.
Google font loads, not gonna be here.
Settings.
I hate to change anything in here just in case you don't have a backup and it doesn't revert. But Google Fonts sounds like something she might have been talking about. Again, that is a font. Michael will be posting this up on the YouTube channel. Enable unfiltered file uploads. This doesn't seem like it's it. Switch editor mode. This is definitely not it. Instead of an external file, I always do internal embedding. And I know that doesn't hurt a site. Let's just see if that has anything to do with it. A lot of times it'll help your caching instead of the override. I crack up laughing if that was it. No, right? So if we have this and we say it's red, maybe Shelby can help us find that. Again, I'm not exactly. It is orange. We're not over.
Yeah, can you go back to that screen you were on before and click on general? I think that's where it is.
Yeah, no problem. General.
So see that checking this box will disable Elementor's default colors. I think I have it checked now on mine, so I think that's what I changed that finally fixed it.
Colors and fonts or just colors?
I did both colors and fonts because it wouldn't let me change the font style either.
Nice, and that's going to be on predetermined things that like icon box. That was predetermined. Let's just take a look. We're going to refresh. Huh. You probably have to clear cache, which is not letting me for some crazy reason. Let's go back. We're going to refresh this page and just see if it helps. And then we're going to revert all our changes so I didn't mess anything up. I have never seen that. I really don't use icon box. So again, I prefer building everything out. But let's see.
That happened to me, not just in an icon box. Also, it was like just with headings and everything.
For real? I do not know. Abdul, I can check more into this. But yeah, that seems actually look, this reverted back to black. So something there. Now we want orange. Why did that revert back? Update. We're gonna refresh again. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at this on a separate note. Again, pretty different. But yeah. So sorry I couldn't just fix it. Does it do it for every? So what if we add a title? Are his titles not going to change either? Because that would be really annoying.
Yeah, it won't change. Even if I
Okay,
try to mess with the
Your title did change.
Oh.
Just for kicks, I'm going to save an update. We're going to change it right back. Don't worry.
What I have to do sometimes when it's like this, like how you can't get his header that's already there to change, is that I just have to replace it with the new heading and then restyle it, and then it'll always work from then on. I don't know what it is.
What is going on with your guys' sites? That did not change. That would be where internal embedding comes along. So we're just going to open that up. Like I've seen.
There's cache. Tim, do you want to delete cache?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me from the front end. Oh, it lets me here. And I guess depending on plugins and caching too, because again, I've done 70 designs. Again, I've never used icon box. Hey, there it is. So it's just cache. But I have designed many sites just with the title. Like I've never seen the titles not change colors. But again, I'm utilizing the same thing every time. I don't know what plugins and stuff you have back here, so I can't like vouch for, why. I'd also double check that the theme is updated. But again, pretty interesting to see that. I'm going to put this, matter of fact, if you contact me on Messenger, I know you have my contact information because we've taken a look at some of the things around your site. But if you contact me, just remind me to take a look at that because I'd like to see how we can fix that so we can help everybody else. Garth, while you're here, custom CSS is going to be right here. And I know that they have it. So again, theme options general. but I do not recommend putting your styles and CSS in there. For some reason, Listing Pro does not put these over their styles and settings. So if it's new CSS, you can put it here, general CSS, but I recommend, because this will overwrite anything, man. I go to appearance, customize, and I put all my, I used to use this, but then some of them wouldn't change, some of them would. So I just started going to the additional CSS here, which again was appearance customize, and then just go to appearance customizations. I put all my CSS files in here, and that'll make sure that it overrides lastly. Keep in mind, please use the child theme. That way when you update, that stays there. And then Abdullah, just get with me. I'd like to check that out a little further. I think I changed everything back. And it still doesn't change. I'd like to do a little bit of testing when everybody's not here staring at your site. Last questions in chat. How do I get a copy of this to review? I'm a little behind on those. Sam's probably going to send this to me today, tomorrow, and then that'll probably go up in a day or two. But all the videos go on the Overnight Coder channel. There's some really good resources. I apologize. I will show you. We're getting a lot more feedback out of the full titles, because at first we started with not full titles, so these were just live questions and answers. But I think now, and again, I have to talk with Sam on this, but I think now we're gonna host the topic and allow questions and answers, right? So that way, everything you can easily go into last week's, which was getting the most out of your business directory, or you can go, 2 weeks back where we had monetizing and marketing your business directory, which more people should be able to click into these if it relates to them. Where this one, these were great. One of these 23, 24 members showed up, but it's just other people's questions and us answering them. So it's really hard for me in the future, like to go and be like, oh yeah, I want to watch week 4 questions and answers. So these, I think, bring a little bit more to the table, but they're all these webinars. So hopefully we see you. Remember, we're taking the next 2 weeks off. I might do some type of interim video there, but check both groups. Maybe on something crazy, right? Who knows? Sam says, yes, definitely subscribe to the channels. Custom CSS. Another question, Hamza, could you add in your next update the possibility of choosing an employee? Wait, what? Could you add in your next update the possibility of choosing an employee of our choice when reserving a time slot for service? For example, if I want to book the barber. Oh, Sam, this is for you. If you want to book a barber, do you have a possibility to pick between Paul and John to have my hair done? Is this on a specific theme, or are you just talking about Listing Pro in general? So right now, and it's really hard because they don't have appointment bookings, and then you can't really pick a professional. And I think that would, so Sam's going to further on this, and maybe he might have to get with you on something specific. But on a Listing Pro design, that's going to be really hard, right? Shelby has all of Texas, or I'm sorry, a certain location in Texas, which is barbers, which is handyman, which is, anything in there. How can she say, hey, pick a barber? Where one listing might just be a restaurant. And, it's really hard to pick a hostess, or I'm sorry, a waiter or waitress, if you don't even know if they worked that day. So it's going to be really hard to pick a professional. Now, as you start getting into things like the Medical Pro add-on, that could be possible there, where you're reaching out to a medical professionalist already from a specific hospital, and can you migrate that theme to do what you want to do with permalinks and everything else? You could. You could definitely do that, but I think with the Listing Pro, like even with an update, that's going to be a really hard feature. And I'm not speaking for Listing Pro. It's going to be really hard because you're saying, hey, can I pick a barber? But what about for restaurant? Now you got to pick a restaurant. What do you call that? You have to have a spot for what you call it, and then you have to see who's available, right? What barbers don't work 7 days a week, right? If he takes that day off, so it's a really hard feature to get into. But again, Hamza, I'm sure if you put your email, or if you send your email to Sam directly in chat, not directly so everybody has it, but if it says to, if you send Sam your email, maybe he can give you some more information on something like that might be upcoming. But really hard feature in my eyes to do, even on a custom directory. Like, let's just take Listing Pro out of the equation, right? I couldn't even do that with that, because I would still have, like on mine, I have kiteboarding. I have kiteboarding lessons, and I have shops and school. But then you drop into it and say, well, kiteboarding lessons, can I pick my instructor and then have the instructors there? Well, first off, I don't really know any of the instructors. Yeah, if I always go there, then I would know an instructor. But if I always go there, I'm just going to call the company and be like, hey, is my same instructor available? Is Tim available? And I had people do that, but nobody booking on a website. A lot of times you won't have that information. If you do have that information, how do you go from all those different categories and include that in one theme, right? You're just talking about barber. Some Amsoil was here talking about oil. You know, Shelby's here and she's got everything. I'm here and I'm talking about lessons from a kiteboard instructor. So I think that it's going to be really hard to incorporate, and you can see why, right? Now categories has to have an additional field, but maybe they can incorporate something like that for you if there's enough requests. Yeah, there's a calendar invite on the Listing Pro webinar page. That's last in chat. And again, don't listen to Sam. He says you can access the Listing Pro recordings from Listing Pro /webinar. Don't get them from there. Get them from my channel. Like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. I get the same view count there, but I love it. I appreciate you guys' time today. You guys have a wonderful day. I am going to celebrate birthday madness. And yeah, we'll see you the first week of January. I just closed that.
Yeah,
call.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
A lot of times I'll be like, hey, if you guys have any questions, I'll stick around for another hour.
Sure.
But you know what? We're not doing that today.